Hello and welcome to the Essex Boys Murder Case Part 6. Before watching this video, I recommend you start watching Part 4 onwards, as these videos are all about key individuals and the murder victims' movements on the day of the 6th of December 1995. Quick mention to the Facebook page called The Real Essex Boys Murder Club, which is in capital letters. If you're interested, please feel free to join us, as there's some great people on there with a lot of knowledge on this subject, and you can post what you like. So today we're back with Tony Tucker, Pat Tate, Craig Rolfe and Peter Cuthbert at a petrol station close by to this place here, which is the Eastern Garage Car Sales. It's owned by a Barry Dorman, and this is where they purchased the Range Rover from. I'm going to take you down to the actual petrol station in this one, and it's just down here, about, I'd say, a mile down South End Road. So what we'll do is we'll just fast forward until we get to the other part. So I just want to show you this place on the left hand side. It's called the Five Bells Caravan Centre now, but back in '95 it was called the Five Bells Car Sales Garage, and it was run and owned, I think, by a guy called Graham Law, who was a very good friend of Barry Dorman. They used to work together with car deals, etc., and is actually mentioned in Barry Dorman's statement. We're just going to get to the actual petrol station now. And this is where Peter Cuthbert, Tony Tucker, Pat Tate and Craig Rolfe met at midday on the 6th of December. This is the actual petrol station. This has been used before by Tony Tucker. He actually met Mad Mickey Bowman here, as Mad Mickey Bowman wanted to sell his car to Barry Dorman. They pulled up here, Tony Tucker and Mick Bowman drove up to Barry Dorman's car garage sales. I think Barry Dorman were haggling over the price. The sale didn't go through. They came back here, and then they drove to Pat Tate's house on Gordon Road, and he actually rung up and sorted out the deal and a sale for the actual vehicle to Barry Dorman. So, I mean, I've read a few things about Pat Tate online, and from what I can gather, doing the research, he was a really good car salesman. So from this garage here, Peter Cuthbert has passed over the hire purchase booklet to Tony Tucker, and they are about to set off to TGI Fridays in West Thurrock. So that's where we're going to go next. So the red marker here is where Tucker, Tate and Rolfe and Peter Cuthbert are going to set off. They're going to go along the A13, which is an 18-minute journey. So they're setting off around about midday, and eventually they're going to arrive here at the Lakeside Shopping Complex, where TGI Fridays is. So here we have the TGI Fridays restaurant, and Tony Tucker, Pat Tate, Craig Rolfe and Peter Cuthbert turn up in Peter Cuthbert's Shogun, and we have a statement from a Linda Wolfe who worked at TGI Fridays restaurant. In her statement she says on the 6th of December 95, 4 men were seated at a table. they ordered their drinks first, which was Beck's beer and a Diet Pepsi. Then afterwards, they ordered their food. I'd just like to point out as well that in the autopsy reports, alcohol was in their system. So I think her statement's quite accurate. The fourth man, she didn't recognise. But in fact, we know now that it was Peter Cuthbert, due to his police statement. She said Peter Cuthbert seemed quiet and moody. She then says Tucker, Tate and Rolfe were acting about, and she told them off, and Tony Tucker told her to let her hair down. So she says she let her hair down a little bit, and she asked Tony Tucker if he knew a bloke that worked at Hollywood's nightclub in Romford. Tony Tucker said he'd ring, but his phone didn't work, so he borrowed Pat Tate's, and he actually got through. And then I think he made some sort of like joke about him, saying sack him, but like I say, he was only joking, apparently. At the end of the meal, Pat said, can you get Claire to come over? Claire is Claire Carey, who is, was one of the girlfriends of Pat Tate, but she wasn't working that day, according to Linda Wolfe, which she told him, and she said, has she got your number? Which Pat replied, yeah, of course she has. Throughout the meals, Linda Wolfe says the fourth man, Peter Cuthbert, as we know him, just sat there and remained quiet throughout the meal, but he was definitely moody, and although the other three were not ignoring it in him or seemed to be upsetting him, she says he's just been moody. Something I picked up on reading these statements from friends and associates, the way Tony Tucker, Pat Tate and Craig Rolfe spoke to people like this, especially Tony Tucker, the way he treated people. I mean, I recently watched a programme on YouTube called The Most Inaccurate Essex Boys programme ever made. If you decide to watch it, I just thought I'd warn you now that the acting and choreography is absolutely atrocious. But the story about the Essex Boys is very credible. I think it was taken from the History 2 channel years ago. John Wilms and Steve Niparellis speak on the programme, and in Niparellis' words, he says Tony Tucker was a manipulative person. He fooled a lot of people into thinking that he was a good friend to them, who basically was just a liar. Is this why Peter Cuthbert was quiet and moody whilst having his meal with the others at TGI Fridays? Was he promised cash for setting up the HP deal for the Range Rover, and Tony Tucker just used him and didn't pay up that day? No way am I implying that Peter Cuthbert had anything to do with these murders. It's more of the way Tony Tucker treated his so-called friends and colleagues. Okay, so back to Linda Wolfe's statement. She says they stopped at TGI Fridays for approximately 1 hour and then left. So this would have been roughly around 2 PM. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now, guys. And the next video will be the Essex Boys Murder Case Part 7. Just a quick recap. We've got Darren Nichols at the Sunbury and Thames just before 1 PM. We've got Sarah Saunders at her mum's address in Kingswood, Basildon, Essex, around 1 to 1:30 PM. Niparellis is at his home address in Swanage, Dorset, up to 4 to 4:30 PM. And we now have Tony Tucker, Pat Tate, Craig Rolfe and Peter Cuthbert at the TGI Fridays Lakeside Shopping Complex, Western, at 2 PM. Quick mention to all the subscribers on YouTube, thank you so much, it means a lot. And I'd just like to give a quick mention to the Facebook page, The Real Essex Boys Murder Club, which is, I mean, your input is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I can't make these videos without you guys. So yeah, my next video, I'll try and get it up as quickly as I can, and I'll be back soon. Take care.